Despite the rough start that we've seen to the month in terms of crypto prices, there is one sector in this space that actually remains stronger than ever in terms of fundamentals, and that is DePIN, Decentralized Physical Infrastructure Networks. It's a sector that we're big fans of. We cover it all the time here on the channel on Altcoin Buzz. But today we're not going to be counting down a list of DePIN projects that we love, altcoin projects. Instead, we're going to be discussing a key feature that all DePIN projects are going to need, crucially, at a fundamental level: privacy. Decentralization is great, don't get me wrong, but it's not the whole picture. Because a lot of people out there, myself included by the way, are not going to want to sacrifice the privacy of their data on open, public blockchains. Secret Network is a project that knows this, that understands it very well. And with their DeCC service, DePIN can protect all network data at a user level, which means that you would decide how much or how little data you'd want to disclose. We're going to be discussing why all DePIN projects out there need Secret Network's DeCC service, and why, if you're already bullish on the DePIN sector, you are fundamentally bullish on Secret Network. Welcome one and all to the channel. My name is Maddie and this is Altcoin Buzz. All the best of luck if you choose to invest. I wish you very, very well. Let's just all remember that I'm not a financial or investment advisor. And of course, by extension, this video is not official financial or investment advice. And while you're with us, be sure to take advantage of our 100 USDT sign-up offer in collaboration with CoinEx. Just for opening up a new account, you get that bonus. More info on that later in the video. Okay, let's talk DeCC and how it protects user data. DeCC is Secret Network's decentralized confidential computing, and it gives DePIN projects what they need to succeed. And today we're going to be using as an example one of our favorite DePIN projects, which happens to be a cache. A cache is kind of at the intersection really of two major narratives in crypto, those being DePIN and AI. And people sell or rent their GPU computing power to the network so that AI projects can use them to improve large language models or to do things like render images. There's a lot of computational demand when it comes to a lot of these AI projects out there. And so this GPU power market is something that is blossoming very quickly. Now, DeCC is an important element for a cache because it protects user data. In this case, the user data can be, for example, you giving your CPU computing power to the network, or you as the AI project, you're renting GPU power from a cache for your new app, possibly even both of those scenarios. And if you're giving your own excess GPU power to a cache, do you really want that to be public? GPU costs a lot of money, and if you're in that rare position of having more computing power than you need, then you could become a target, potentially. And I'll give you some examples. First of all, your wallet could be a target for hackers. You personally could become a target if someone is able to connect you to your wallet. And this is where the value of trustlessness in DePIN really starts to kick in. Going back to the example of a cache, they make their payments with their native AKT token. And here anyone can, at least theoretically, see which wallets are receiving tokens in any of the Cosmos-based block explorers. And that's not ideal, right? Because potentially everyone can see everyone else's payment data and history with those mechanisms in place. Enter DeCC, where the decision power rests with you. Okay, so a new project is likely to rent GPU space rather than go and make the huge tech investments before they know if the project will ever go live or even make any money. And many projects like to build in stealth. Projects do this so that you don't see all the iterations they have to go through. They kind of play their cards close to their chest. That's natural, right? That plus all the early mistakes they make that might make you lose confidence in the project if you're an investor, for example. It's not always a good thing to see how the sausage is made, because if you did, you'd probably never buy it. Okay, but if you get someone good, somebody technically proficient with a block explorer, they could potentially expose the project as, for example, being a cache customer. And it could be a long time before they're ready to go public about the project. Look at this here on AtomScan. Some of these blocks have only 1 or 2 transactions in them. That makes it easy to track them. And projects don't want this. They want to go public only when they're ready to do so, obviously. And with DeCC, they can protect the privacy of the project's earliest stages. meaning they can wait until they have a better or even optimal model before showing the public. This is a much better launch strategy for many obvious reasons. And we've seen a lot of testnet and mainnet launches here at Altcoin Buzz. Some have been excellent. Most have been okay or decent. Some have been awful. It follows a regular bell curve distribution. But the awful ones always leave us apprehensive, users especially, about the project. And the fact of the matter is that with those awful launches, those projects rarely ever achieve their stated goals. This Altcoin Buzz Spotlight video is sponsored by CoinEx, which is probably one of the best exchanges that you still haven't heard of. Just like Gate.io or MEXC, they offer a lot of coins, but most importantly, they offer the high quality coins that you actually want. I'm talking about over 800 coins in over 1,200 trading pairs, which are available. And they have a great new program that's ongoing right now. This started on the 3rd of July and it's going all the way to the end of the month, so the 31st of July. Just for signing up with the link that you'll find in the description of the video, you get up to 100 USDT for free to help your account get going. Check out the link. Once again, you can find it in the description of this video and get up to 100 USDT with your new account. Now we have to consider the other side of the equation, because DeCC protects the data that DePIN projects collect. Again, let's use Akash as an example here. One area of big concern in AI is the centralization of our data, again, in the hands of OpenAI or Claude. Once our data is public and it's out there, their LLMs, or large language models, can find the data and use them really however they want. But the good news is that this is motivating both crypto and AI to work together for decentralized AI solutions, which is nice. With decentralized AI, you control who accesses your data and whether you want to monetize it or not. So let's say there's a new project, XYZ, they're using Akash to rent GPU space while they build out their model. They're building a general model to be an OpenAI competitor. They're probably thinking past what ChatGPT 4.0 or 5.0 would be. The project wants to move general models far ahead, and they have the skills to build it. Now, OpenAI is closed source and proprietary. Microsoft owns it. That means they're not sharing anything. So why would the new project XYZ want to share its data and its model publicly with OpenAI, or for that matter, any other competitors? Well, they don't. But without a solution like DeCC, the collected data in a DePIN could be public, just as the transaction hashes and data are already public in any public blockchain. It honestly does not take much to see how this would be a huge disadvantage, especially for new projects using DePIN to help build out and experiment with their new models. DeCC here is the true intellectual property protection for the project. And at the beginning, IP and data are really all a project has.
And so if this market pulls back hard under this level and then consolidates and comes back, we're likely to sell and stall.
Ultimately, DeCC is giving DePIN exactly what it needs. You can see whether you're, for example, using a DePIN project to earn some extra money or using it for decentralized access to resources your project needs. DeCC gives DePIN projects exactly what they're looking for. And probably many of you, if you're watching this, and us too, by the way, believe that some added privacy is necessary for wider scale global adoption anyway. DePIN projects are providing the valuable services of taking things like file storage, computing power, website bandwidth space, and a whole lot more. They're taking all those things out of the hands of the big guys, the big tech players out there, Google, Amazon, Microsoft, and adding this element of at least some privacy at a level that you choose, by the way, makes them an even better competitive option than the legacy options that I just mentioned, those that are already available. So look, if you're a big fan of DePIN projects, as we are here at Altcoin Buzz, it's one of our three major narratives in crypto, right? Along with RWAs and AI. If you're on the same wavelength, then Secret Network and its DeCC are a good way to show your support for such projects. Check out the link that I'll include in the description of this video below. You can also take part in their growth going forward.